So Alan Watts talks about this thing where he calls it a Rorschach blot. He talks about it all the time. So it's where you get a bit of paper and you put some paint or a few different colors on it and you fold it in half, and then you open it back out, and it might look like an owl, it might look like a face, it might look like a mountain, a cloud, and you can have a group of people all interpret the picture. And that's really interesting in the sense that everyone might see a different thing based on their own perception. Again, everyone's right. But if you have someone in that group who's more dominant than everyone, they're going to try and... They go like, yeah, it's definitely an owl. You know, you guys should see that. It's like, definitely for sure it's an owl. And it's amazing how we have these different egos around us who want to project their own reality onto us. So if these people believe that we're not magic, we're not infinite, we're not connected, and that these people believe that we are separated from everyone, you're going to have this projected at you a lot, and sometimes it's not very direct, it can be very subconscious or energetic. So, again, with these plants, you're going to be shown things, and you have the option to take these teachings and these realities with you into your day-to-day life. So, I've had a long-term connection with San Pedro Huachuma, which is a tall cactus that's grown in the Andes, what's from the Andes in Peru, and it's all over the world now, but where I grew up in New Zealand it's everywhere, and I've actually been growing it since I was 10 years old, and I've accessed this visionary plant sporadically through my adult life, and it's been so interesting to witness the different effects of different dosages, from energy, inspiration, to healing the body, to having the intention of having an inquiry about a particular aspect of reality, and taking a dose of this cactus and then sitting for 12 or 15 hours. And it seems to open you up to that Akashic record, that Akashic field of awareness, where you'll start to literally just learn. You go to school. And the amazing thing about San Pedro is you will absorb all this clear information, but not in an analytical way. The information comes to your body. And when you read a book, often we are analyzing, we're trying to remember information and analysis so we can regurgitate the information. Now if we read that book 10 times, the information is going to affect our body in different ways, where the information will enter our body and it will just be available to us. We don't have to think about it and analyze it to regurgitate, it's just coming out. So the information is felt by our body as opposed to understood by our body. It's in our heart. So San Pedro, it seems that you can go through a long evening or day with this plant and the information is felt by your body, these realizations, these unveilings, these cascades of perception. And you can learn so much. I mean, you can have one evening with San Pedro and then sit down and write a book. The amazing thing about this plant is the information is very reaccessible. It's very coherent and clear, and you can just regurgitate it into more of an analytical method if you want to, or communicate that to someone. Ayahuasca, on the other hand, sometimes the visionary state of this plant it can fade, in the sense that a lot can happen in one evening or with one experience with ayahuasca or DMT. DMT, you experience a complete collapse of our perception of time, and I call this time dilation. Some people do, other people do as well. And since you have a bottleneck where you enter through the bottleneck, and the bottleneck, say represents time. You have a 10-minute experience, and that's the bottleneck, but within the 10-minute experience, it opens out. So you go into that 10 minutes and then you have a day worth of experience. Or with some of the Dr. Rick Strassman experiments where they used intravenous DMT, these people were going away for years or a lifetime having all this experience and then coming back within this very small window, so extreme time dilation. And a lot of these people would come back out of the experience and say, how long was I gone? Because they couldn't believe they were still in that hospital bed, surrounded by machines, the drip in their arm and all this. So DMT, ayahuasca, you can have so much experience inside that evening or inside that 10 minutes where you really need to sit down and experience the aftermath and process what you learned, as opposed to moving back into your day-to-day life or taking more ayahuasca. It's important to really sit with the teachings when it comes to DMT, because a lot can happen and it can fade. You get offered a lot of potential, and it's how you act on that potential and bring it into your day-to-day life, which is different. Another amazing plant out there is peyote. And peyote does a really unique thing when used in ceremony in particular. In ceremony, one of the interesting anomalies is some people will purge and throw up, and some people don't. And it's interesting to sometimes look at the emotional state of the people who purge versus the ones who don't. And you can maybe even draw a conclusion or a trend here that when you all take peyote as a group, it seems that there is a heightened community group energy that happens in a ceremony. And you've got to keep up with that energy. And by the morning, everyone's on that vibration. What's holding you back from that vibration is often why you need to purge. So you have the peyote, and then you will purge so you can keep up with this high vibration of group will, group prayer, and group intention. So by the morning, when people are still taking peyote, they're not purging anymore, because they've purged out all the lower vibrational realities of themselves that keep them back from the group. Peyote is fantastic in the sense of creating community connection, connection with many people around us, and brings us back to a feeling of lost tribal nourishment, which is so missing in modern day society. Peyote also brings us will, deep, intense will, and this is why it's not like ayahuasca where some people lie down for the evening perhaps. It's more this will to sit up, preferably on your knees, and pray to the fire and sing and focus on the intention of the group, the intention of the sponsor of the ceremony, and your own personal intention, and to focus on that willpower. And the peyote gives us this will to hyper-focus for the whole night. And peyote and San Pedro are fantastic in the sense that they can take away our desire to go to the toilet and to drink water. Your body goes onto a heightened reciprocal state of energy. So you can focus for this long without being distracted by your body's needs. So this will gets given to us, it's offered to us with peyote, and then we can take that will and take the essence of that will into our day-to-day life, and use that will and that focus and that prayer to do the things you want to do. To learn the ability to bless yourself and bless your life and people around you, and to really begin using these plants and these teachings to change your quantum reality by becoming very positive and very gratuitous and very present. So many of these plants allow us to see our past, to see our ancestors, to see what's happening on the planet, to see the bigger picture of who we're connected to. We're connected to everything, and to really come into full compassion for the collective human experience, and to come into love for everyone's process. And to realize that the more we work on ourselves and the more we clear ourselves, the more we're clearing everyone. And especially clearing our families, clearing a morphogenic field of our family. Our families have a field of non-local communication. If your mother has an issue and she deals with it, this will help you as well. If you deal with an issue, it will affect your whole family. So when your family group is working on their own stuff, you're actually working on the whole family, and it's really special to witness this and to go through this with regression therapy or with plants.